Well, it is May 20th. It's a Friday. Um, I went down to the Lions Club fish fry. And yeah, I was there a couple years ago, probably like 4 years ago, with a group of 4 people. Um, One of them is, well, he's dead. He was my friend. His name was Keith. Another one, his name was Rick. I'm not sure what happened to him, but he had a rough go of it and kept relapsing. And he had a lot of anger problems. And he used to actually live in one of the apartments in this building. And he was escorted off the property because of, I don't even know. I didn't ask. But there were police involved. I remember waking up to lights on my ceiling. And it's like, okay, something's going on. And silent lights. You know, where they don't, it's late enough that they don't want to disturb the neighborhood. And he was escorted away. So I don't know what happened to him. And the other guy, he lived here for a long time, and he actually met somebody, and I guess they got their fiancéed, or they got married, or they bought a house, and he moved out last year, and so he's doing okay, I think. So of those 4 people that were there 4 years ago, yeah, pretty sure one's doing okay. And then there's me, and I'm doing however it is I am, which I don't even know. I'm here, I think. So I went by myself this time, just because I just felt like it, and you know, sounded like, you know, something to do. And I just walked there. I didn't have to coordinate or communicate with anybody. Just went there, just woke, got back from work, and then took a nap. I set an alarm, but I didn't need it. I just woke up and then waited for the sun to go down a little bit because it was a bit UV intense today. So let that go down a little bit. And then just walked down there and stopped a couple times to take some pictures of things that I saw. And it was just, yeah. And I have no idea about, the preparation or the handling of the food, or the fish itself, how it was, harvested, prepared. Is it sustainable? It's fish and everything. And a lot of things were plastic, wrapped and, prepared, and styrofoam and utensils and water bottles and lots of disposable single-use items, which yeah, that's just kind of how the culture is, how it is here. And people are not very aware or caring or believing that there's any problem, that there's anything. Yeah, there's no problem until there's a problem. But the only thing is it's far too late. And, there's already signs, obviously. But people, politicians and, top scientists say, it's like, oh, don't worry about that. Yeah, we're working on it. And it's like, okay, well, you don't want to cause a mass global panic, I guess, because they don't know what to do, and they're in the same boat. We're all in the same boat. And nobody knows really exactly the extremes of what's going on, I guess. I don't either. It doesn't look good. And anyway, so that was just kind of like one of those things. But it was a good sandwich. I enjoyed it. It didn't stop me because I still participated because, Otherwise, I'd just be sitting here in my apartment by myself, confined, condemned, cloistered. It's like, yeah, the world does not align itself with my politics or philosophies. I am perpetually alone. And that's just how it is. There are people sympathetic, but not understanding, in my experience. Of course, you know, nothing is to say that the way that people are the way that I think they are. It's just my experience of them, my perception of them. It has nothing to do with how they actually are, but I just make my observations, and it's my experience and perception of my observations. My accuracy is, highly dubious, and it's questionable. But based on the actual physical, uh, representations of how people are dealing with things, it's like, well, they don't seem to be too concerned, because they just keep, producing more and more packaging and product, and producing more and more little people to then need to create more and more packaging and product. So, anyway, so I went to the fish fry and I had a good sandwich. At least it was okay, And then I was thinking about today, because today was a day when I couldn't, I was sensory overwhelmed by sound, just at work. Just the sound system at work. It's like, does it have to be that loud at 1 o'clock in the morning, playing music, just blasting it, just right, the speakers like right above me, and they're just all over, and I have no control over it. I can't turn them off, I can't turn them down, and they're just playing like just pop culture songs that I don't like. They're just repetitive and obnoxious and meaningless, for the most part. There's very few that are just, it's just all about trite and mundane and very ordinary capitalist, consumerist topics about, very selfish and whiny, and complainy and wanty and needy, and not very inspiring. And yeah, so it's like I just can't. So I actually had to go and procure some hearing protection. So I got some earplugs and was able to soften the sound volume. And I don't know if they're like rated to reduce by 20 or 30 decibels, but I could still hear the music. I could tell what songs were playing, and only be just glad that I wasn't listening to them at full volume. And it's not every day that it's turned up that high. I don't know why. And it's not that maybe some days my hearing is more sensitive than others. I don't think so. I think it was just the actual volume was that high. And of course, no one else seemed to have a problem with it. No one else seems to notice. It's like only I seem to have the problem with the music and the volume and the speakers. Really? No one notices? I'm the only one that cares or notices and has a problem with it and I'm bothered by it, and it affects my work and my ability to concentrate. And just bothers me a lot. I'm the only one. And so I tune out the world, which means I'm tuning out everybody else. And people are like, notice that I'm being quiet, and it's like, then they get angry, or at least it seems like they're angry at me because they think I'm angry at them. And they don't know why I'm angry at them, because they haven't done anything wrong. but then they're getting angry at me because they think I'm angry at them, yada, 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 and I'm not talking and explaining myself to them because they need explained to. And it's just, I just want to be left alone. It's not that I'm not talking to them. I'm not talking, period. And it's like, it's nothing against you. You're not that special. It's everyone. So, and I'm also like, I had the day off yesterday, so I'm stressed out today. Because my world has changed because I wasn't there to keep up with it at work. So, and I need days off. I have to have days off. I enjoy my days off, but I don't enjoy coming back and then having to figure things out, and also be like the emotional coach of some people that need that reassurance and reinforcement because they have some sort of vested connection or something that I know parts of their story that they don't talk about with other people, and that they want to maybe talk about and give me updates to get my opinion about, and I'm just not in a good place to hear about it. I'm not going to be, it's like I don't, especially when it's something extremely sensitive and I have personal connections to it myself, and it's like I just don't want to touch it. I just want to do the job, and I don't want to have a soul-searching, inspiring speech that early in the morning. It's like I just did that a couple hours earlier at a meeting. I gave this whole off-the-cuff, improvised, ad-libbed, "Oh, Captain, my Captain" speech. Just a good 10, 15 minutes long. To try to get through to somebody that I thought maybe needed to be gotten through to, but it turns out that, well, who knows what anybody ever hears or pays attention to, what they got out of it. But maybe it was good for somebody, I don't know. But it's tough and exhausting. And so, and then I guess I am glad that my significant other made it back safely. I call them that because they're significant to me. And yeah, and other, I don't know. I just thought it'd be funny to say and interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. But they haven't contacted me directly to let me know that they're safe. But I can see that they're safe and that they're okay. And I figured they would take some time to settle down and get back to whatever their normal routine is, which I don't know about because I'm not told. So it's like, how do I even come up with the fact that maybe we're in a relationship or not? I don't know. It's getting tenuous, but it's like, but there's signals and signs, and they're murky and weird. And it's like, I don't know. And it's very creepy. And so it's like, I'm just kind of like, can I go now? It's like, are we done? I don't know. Because it's like either yes, and it's like, all right, well, okay, let's do this. Or no, why are you still here? And it's like, okay, well, now I know. I'll move on with the rest of my life and go be happy somewhere else, doing something else. Because I'm not really, we have philosophical differences of how we approach life and the different crusades and campaigns and causes, and I just don't have the attention or energy or inclination to save the world of all the it's like you fix one thing, it'll fix everything else. It's just no one wants to do that. but it'll be done for us. We don't have to worry about that one. But it's like you find out about this one little, not little, but one aspect of what's going on, and it's like, oh, we got to save this. There's this whole thing about this one event or species or happening. We got to stop this, stop this, stop this, stop this, and then something else. Oh, we got to stop this, stop this, stop this, stop this, and then something else. Oh, we got to stop this, stop this, and it's like focus on one thing. It's like when you jump to stop. It's hard, at least for me, to divert and focus on 50,000 things all at the same time and give it my all and appreciate the finer points of all the different things that are influencing the history and of that particular issue, because each issue has its own so, but the larger issue, that's a tough one. So it's like, But anyway, that's not for now. Not much I can do about it. And I guess the other thing that I was thinking about today in my self-imposed silence, let's see, what do they call that? Sensory deprivation. I had turned off as best as I could. Of course, as soon as the store opened at 7 o'clock, I had to, ears open. At least that's what I chose to do. And I was thinking about how it's like I am a very plain individual. I don't advertise or promote myself. I'm not in the business of selling myself or my ideas, because, I mostly just don't want to be talking all that much. But, I don't have any ornamentation or decoration. Nothing that attracts attention to me or says anything about me that would start or initiate a conversation. Just plain. And, no jewelry, no tattoos, no piercings. Very plain clothing. And so the only thing about me that gives or says anything different about me being a little bit different is the hair. That's the only thing. And I didn't realize that. That it's one of the series that I've started watching that it's just somewhere in the background that every so often I see a video about is a series of videos produced on YouTube. It's basically a support group for people, or for men that grow their hair long, and about how to do it, the problems you'll run into, how to get through it, and like the awkward phase and all that stuff. And then also about dealing with society, because how society views men with long hair depending on the culture you find yourself in. In America, or at least in this region of Central America. Anyway, it's not widely accepted at all, and it has, I don't know what people think. And it's like, I really don't care, but I do know that it does draw attention. I do get strange looks, and I do get stared at. And that's one of the things. It's like, in one of the videos, it's like, it was like a top 3 things that he would have liked to have known before he grew his hair out. And it's like number 2 for him was the attention. If you're a type of person that's not used to getting attention, and doesn't like attention, growing your hair out might not be for you. And it's like, yeah, I didn't expect that. I didn't know it. I just decided, hey, I'm going to grow my hair out because I used to, and I decided it was a good time, and I like it, and I didn't realize it was going to be such a thing. That it's an extreme style. What? That's nothing like me. I don't do things to the extreme. It's not like the equivalent of getting a tribal half face tattoo, or a throat tattoo, or sleeves, or a face full of piercings. And it's like, I don't know if it's, but all that stuff. I can get a haircut, and within like an hour or two, I'm normal. I can blend in with the rest of them, and no one would know the difference, really. And I would stop getting nearly as much attention, and I would just be back to camouflage, and that is quite appealing to me, actually. Because I like blending in. I like not being noticed. I don't want the attention. But then I kind of like it because I feel like it's good for me. Getting a little bit, I don't know, it's weird. I just don't know how to deal with it. So I'm just giving myself the benefit of the doubt to just keep doing what I'm doing because I like the hair. That's the thing. That's the most important thing. I like it. And so it's like, I don't know about how society is reacting. And it's like, is it really that big of a deal? It's like, apparently. It's like how, like with the music with me. It's like how this forced music that I cannot adjust, that I have to listen to. Because I can choose what to look at in the store, what not to look at, and if I don't have to make eye contact with people, and I also can have a choice about not talking, or I can limit how much I have to talk. But my hearing, I can't turn off my hearing. I can't just turn my ears the other way, very well. I can wear earplugs, so I was able to make that choice. But just on an everyday basis, yeah, it's like a form of torture, and also like being held hostage, and auditory assault. So, yeah. So, I'll wear earplugs. It's fine. And it's like, people just have to get used to that, I guess. I'm fine wearing earplugs if that's what it comes down to, because I'd just rather have the sound system off, or just way low, because it doesn't have to be up that high. At the point where it's like I'm having trouble calling off numbers to myself for inventory counts, where I'm like 53, 24, 5, and I have to like repeat the numbers over and over and over again, because there's like this music and voices and singing right above me, and I can't even remember the numbers that I'm saying to myself. It's just a distraction. So anyway, so that's what I know. Not very interesting. Just regular old stuff, life. And I'm still doing, meetings. Still just doing the Wednesday night at the First Presbyterian Church, and the Thursday night over at the Alvin Neal Building. Attendance is very low, but still, every so often, people show up, and they haven't heard my story before, so I tell it again, and again, and again, and again, or different aspects, and things are happening for people around me, a few people that have been around me for a while, and I try to help them with their problems, and every so often I'll mention something about myself and things that I'm dealing with, and people do their best to try to relate. I'm fairly unrelatable, apparently. I didn't realize. So it's difficult being like the last one. It feels like, because I am just kind of on my own. But it's not that I haven't always been on my own. It's just now that I just kind of notice it. It's like, yeah. I thought that maybe I just was always just imagining things that, but no, I was right. I am different, and I am autistic, and that's the other thing I was thinking about. It's like, how do I introduce myself? And I think I've settled. It's like, I'm not an alcoholic, autistic person, and I'm not a recovering autistic alcoholic, because that would imply that being autistic is something you recover from. It's like it's an affliction. No. But I can. I think I settled. I'm not sure. On I am an autistic recovering alcoholic. Maybe that's good. Or I'm just an autistic. No. I'm working on like an Autistics Anonymous kind of thing. But being autistic shouldn't be anonymous. I think that's it's difficult because the world really wants to fix things, really wants to help correct people because they don't understand. Well, obviously they're just not trying hard enough, or we can help them to be better, and because they're just not doing it, and they don't. So obviously they need help so they can perform tasks like normal people. And it's like, no, actually, we're doing okay as is. We're not asking for help to be like normal. We're just asking to be acknowledged and respected and accepted for being how it is we are. And it's us accommodating you in a lot of cases, and needing to be let. So it's like people associate, autism with all sorts of the negative connotations. That's not autism. That is that's unhappy. That's when things are going wrong. It's not necessarily how it is. I don't know. I'm not phrasing it very well. It's not a person being supported and nurtured in the way that they need to be. They don't feel safe, and they're feeling attacked and vulnerable and sensitive, or overwhelmed by situations that are going on around them. They have no control over it, no say over it. And a lot of times they are trapped up here, and they cannot handle it. So anyway, it's been a longer video, and I should go. Because otherwise these uploads take forever as soon as it gets to half an hour, like hours. So anyway, that's what my life has been like the recent past couple days, I guess. Still running. Yeah. Well, getting some sun. Yeah. So anyway, this was Friday, May 20th, 2022. For whatever it means, for whatever it's worth.